All right, welcome to my FX Buddies, the podcast. And I say podcast because there are multiple mediums on which you can get this content. This one, this one's boring. I'm sorry, it just is, in my opinion. But this is today's news, and I wanted to do this today because I think I'm hoping tomorrow there'll be more news, more exciting, well, to me. Like, there's a lot about the oil stuff, but we know that's on hold until Monday, at least in my opinion. Um, and I'll get into that. But there is one exciting thing. The H people, they have made a coin, not a crypto coin. It's sponsored by uh, the CBI of Yemen. So yeah, so we'll get to that, but that'll be later. So just bear with me. These are one of those ones where it's dot connecting. And there is some new news. Well, but I know you got plenty of you go listen at other places, but this is where you can what? You can go to the blog, the free blog. You don't even have to put in your email. I'm laughing because I cannot figure out Patreon. I just don't. There's this guy that I want to. He claims his group is free. It's not RV related. Um, but it seems like you have to use one of your social media logins to log in. Am I right? Can I make a new? Uh, do I have to go through Gmail or I don't have those other ones. I don't have Instagram. I would not use Facebook. Um, but anyway, just let me know. Anyway, and thank you. One of my videos, I don't know which one, but one of them has 200 likes. So thank you so much. That is wonderful. And what else? That's it. Okay, because you probably already are ready to click off since I said this was boring. But I do have to say, wherever you are interacting with this content, the way to get to the blog is look for a prompt of more info, intro, description, something of that nature. You click on that, and another box opens with the link, and click on the link, and it'll take you to this wonderful page here. All right, so we'll get into it. Uh, the it does seem it I guess it is good news. It does seem like they really have needled it down to some final details, but I don't believe anything. When it comes to oil and barrels of oil and price, it's so manipulated. It just whatever. But here is the latest thing. Iraq is ready to export Kurdistan's oil, but a dispute over 19,000 barrels is hindering implementation for billions of dollars, right? Isn't it? It's like $4 or $7 billion a month, but they've lost like 22 billions. But anyway, so here's the same 400,000 barrels per day. Here's the same $16 per barrel. So all the other stuff. So they go through and they lay out the terms, which is good because that must mean the terms are actual, and it pretty much is the same as the was it yesterday? I don't know. Um, but yeah, the if you haven't been following and you want to try to catch up, this is a good article to read because it does kind of have, in a nutshell, what has transpired, right, and where they stand now. So the role of oil companies in resuming exports. Oh, this is supposed to have a T here. The region prefers local sales. The region is Kurdistan, right? Federal is Baghdad. The region is Kurdistan. So here they go back to the payments. They need settlement of these payments from 2022, 2023. See? So that is the latest. That 19,000 barrel thing is supposedly the latest. All right. Okay. So here is a really long article. This one came out first. Determining the reasons for the delay in resuming exports via the Turkish Ceyhan pipeline. So, and here is the same 19,000 barrels are lost between Baghdad and Erbil, but Nabil Marsumi, who is he? He's the pessimistic economic expert, right? That's what the people call him, the pessimistic one. He says, look, it's not a difficult problem. It can be solved very simply. Get it together, right? So yeah, that's the difference between the original article. He's giving his thoughts on how you correct that. All right. Now this is interesting. The Iraqi Chamber of Commerce was honored with the award for best performing national committees worldwide. But big whoop, right? We know they keep getting all these honors, all these international honors, but that's, like someone put in the comments, well, and there's the Elvis song. Well, he probably didn't write it, but he sings it. A little less conversation, a little more action. Yeah, so now this, I like this. Details of the new engineer card for dispersing salaries. I'm not sure why it's called the engineer card, but this is how they're resolving paying those people that kind of got jerked around for a little bit. And then finally, I think Sudani made the decision to pay them out of the state bank. And it talks about that here. It's the local card. So this is, I think they'll be the first group to be on this new local card that's not tied to MasterCard or anything, or the other one. What's the other one? Visa. It's strictly an Iraqi card. And it looks to be going through this bank here with 5,000 outlets available across all of Iraq for them to get their money, and it's going to work in the coming days, right? So I like that. I like that he's protecting people who they were fighters. They helped in getting rid of is that group, remember? They've done everything they've been asked to do, and then they were supposed to be paid, and then at the last minute, Keycard was like, we're not paying you. As far as we know, you're an terrorist group, right? So yeah, so Sudani's like, we gonna get you some money, okay? So yeah, and it's these people here, the Popular Mobilization Forces, and they were deprived by Washington and those behind it of the opportunity, and they were working to address the crisis urgently. They even formed special committees to prepare the list of the names and everything like that. But so I think they had been working on that all along. Oh, wow. For some reason, they're showing a drawing of Jesus being on the cross. Oh, well, they do have Christians there. That shouldn't surprise me. Maybe the guy is being interviewed, he's a Christian. All right, anyway, I got distracted. There's my one commercial. So if you'd like to support me, and thank you. 5, 10, 15, 20. No, I'm just kidding. It does. I appreciate you work hard for your money, and when you give a little bit to me, it means a lot. Trust me. So don't worry about it being too small. But anyway, yeah, so this will be a live link when it goes live. And then Cash App is $ T as in Tom, I, S as in Sam, H, W, A, S as in Sam, H, and then PayPal, paypal.me/Tish Wash. And I like when people use that because it has, if you put a way that I can reach out to you, then I can personally thank you. So don't worry about this. I do want people to read this article, but you know, this guy, plus he looks young. 2026, the year of financial decision-making vacuum. Hopefully we won't be here, but you never know. And he's not the first one to start talking about, look, if you don't get the 2025 budget done, you're going to be starting off 2026 without a budget. And they may be right. But so he says, we are facing an impending economic tragedy whose protagonists are procrastinators who do not understand the magnitude of the tragedy. But that's not, he has to say that, right? So economists in the Iraqi street must urge current representatives and the government to end the 2025 budget schedule crisis. So I like that he's like, hey, street, wake up, do something, right? So he says a budget without schedules is like cultivating barren land. We will face difficult economic days for the state's general structure in 2026. And then he has some things here. But what? As soon as possible in the safest way. Oh, yes, here. So the election, that's another reason, because normally in a normal year, they start working on the budget. They try to have the first draft done by October 15th. Well, guess what? Their elections are November 11th. So there won't be a parliament that can work on the 2026 budget. Yeah. So so it says, since there is difficulty in approving the 2026 budget due to the upcoming elections and the member of parliament will be busy with their election campaigns, the available solution now is to approve the 2025 schedules and coordinate with the government as soon as possible in the safest way. So you can read that. I just have this enlarged so the people that are on mobile devices can see it. So there's a letter. Parliament asked the Ministry of Finance to submit the 2025 budget schedule. They did a letter. Let's see. Based on the provisions of Article blah, blah, blah for the years 2023, 2024, 25, number 13 of 2023, which requires the government to submit budget schedules for the current fiscal year before the end of the previous year, which I think is going to happen, right? Because Sudani wants to definitely get a second term, and he made a move today. So, yeah, you can read that if you like. Therefore, we request that the 2025 budget tables be sent to the Iraqi Council of Representatives for approval. So, like Tuesday, maybe? That would be nice, right? Signaling the start of legal government spending and disbursements, enabling state institutions to fulfill their obligations. Signed with appreciation. Here's the letter. You can see the gold foil, the official seal, and then whoever's signature that is. So I was able to, translate that. So here, Sudani says, among other things, there is no Iranian management of Iraqi affairs. I just don't believe you, Sudani. I'm glad you got up there and said it, but yeah. Uh, oh, yay! I apologize. There's someone I was hoping to connect with, and they just responded. I gotcha. All right. So, and that, that's just a picture they just happened to use. But yes, so let's see. There is no, again, it says there is no Iranian control over Iraqi affairs, not even a part of them. Regarding the possibility of a deal between Iran and the U.S., Sadani said, our impression from meetings with the Iranians is that they are eager to make an agreement. So we'll see. So yeah, so I don't know if Sudani initiated this, but look, this is a nice mix of people. They're different ages. There's businessmen. There's tribal. What are his people? There's Shias, right? And then women. Um, so this woman is wearing the traditional. It's not a burqa because she's showing the bottom half of her face. And then you have this lady here. She's also wearing kind of, but see, she's got a little bit of color on hers. And then here's a woman wearing regular clothes, but her hair is covered. So that right there, that seems like little things to us, but those are big steps. Well, not this lady here. She's, but this lady here who has color on the outfit, and then she's wearing regular clothes, but she's still covering her hair, right? Then you have other groups where they do uncover their hair. But anyway, yeah, so look at them. They're all ages. So this is the group that will be Sudani's parliamentary bloc, and right now they're saying they're the largest one. Um, it There was already a group called Restructuring and Development Bloc, so maybe more people have come in it. That's my phone. That's the guy responding. Okay, yeah, so that happened, but I mean, let me see. If we're still here for the elections, which I'm going to show you, it's so funny. I was talking to someone and they were wanting my honest opinion, so I gave it to them. But it because of the tension that I see, tension between Sudani and our US president, and because we're so close to the new election time, I had said I could see us picking the prime minister and picking a new one. Okay, and as if they heard me, but we'll go back to that article. Basil Hussein. The Najaf, Tehran, Washington trilogy is what will decide the 3 presidencies in Iraq. So even this guy, who is Iraqi, there he is there. He's the head of whatever Center for Studies. And he's like, okay, Najaf is Sadr. Sadr lives in Najaf. Tehran is, the neighbor. And Washington is us. He emphasized that these forces combined represent the largest parliamentary bloc that will determine the identity of the Prime Minister, the Speaker of Parliament, and the President of the Republic. So he's already saying we're going to influence their election. And we have, right? We chose Maliki. And, we chose the others. But anyway, so yeah, so that's out there. Hopefully we're not here to see it. But anyway, now this is a pretty pleasant article. Sudani meets with these people. Actually, he had a couple of meetings. He met with some media people, but none of that has anything to do with the RV. Now, this group, the president and the members of the new council, yeah, this is the writers union. And I guess they speak to the people, right? So, yeah. But look, here it says achieving economic reform. And then again, achieving economic reform. And I think it's one more time. Branches, open a channels. 2026 will be a special year. I bet he hopes it's special for him. But yeah, so I thought that was interesting. All right, so we just went over that. Okay, let me hurry up. This is good. They're putting in some new measures, strict measures against currency smugglers, if you want to read that. And here's the neighbor demanding that Washington guarantee no aggressive maneuvers or conflict, right? If you're looking, you can see that three-letter word there. In exchange for resuming negotiations, because there's been some leaks and it's basically like rumor, right? We don't know, but you can't trust. Bibi is supposedly making plans to drop kablooies on the neighbor, right? So they're hearing that and they're like, we want to guarantee that you won't let him do it, and B, you won't jump in, right, and assist. So I don't, we'll see what happens. Okay, here are the Uchi. I know how to say it, but I'm not saying it right. The H people. A new coin to enter circulation tomorrow, Sunday, and there it is. It's 50 reals. But why is this in Iraq's news? I think they're showing their people. Look, other countries are using coins. And why are they using a coin? And its minting comes as part of the bank's efforts to find solutions to the problem of damaged banknotes and enhance the quality of circulating currency. So, you know why I like that? It's not digital. But I think Yemen's been destroyed so much. Well, parts of it anyway. There's one part I think is beautiful, but anyway, much of Yemen has been devastated by kablooies, so they probably don't even have infrastructure to have electronic payments. But yeah, so this step confirms the bank's commitment to strengthening community confidence in the national currency and implements its previous announcement when it introduced the 100 real coin, which I don't recall them doing an article about that, but I don't know when that was. But yeah, so that's interesting, I think, and I wanted to share that with you. And then those words there explain the images and such. Okay, so here's the stuff from Telegram. I said I was going to have some stuff. Yeah, so it's getting harder and harder, especially on the weekends. A lot of the news, which is to be expected because they have a younger population, right? And they're pushing them to be on devices. So it would make sense that WhatsApp and Telegram, and there's another one, Twitter. At least Twitter, they sometimes I can translate, right? But Telegram is so frustrating, and then I'm not even signed up for WhatsApp. So I have these here. So just keep in mind it's just I'm hoping maybe tomorrow there'll be articles to back this up. But I like this guy, whoever he is. They interviewed him, and he was saying the 3-year budget lacked jobs and appointments and is one of the worst to hit Iraqi governments. So I'm hoping I'm hoping they'll never ever do a 3-year budget again. And let's see. Safwan Kwase, he's on TV right now. He's been interviewed, but it's a replay. He's been interviewed the past 3 days. So he's out talking about the budget. And so here's one statement from him. The budget was delayed due to the 2024 accounts and regional disputes, and continued delays threaten financial stability. And he also says okay, that's a double. But right here, the delay in the budget schedules deprives Parliament of its oversight role and disrupts 2026 spending. So I put this one here twice. I'll delete that. And then who is disrupting Parliament sessions? Oh, Parliament did meet today. They had 175 people, which technically is not a quorum, but they can what time is it? Okay. They have this law that they can enact, and the people that are there make the majority, and they can go with them. And since these laws weren't very crucial, they went on ahead and did a second and a third reading of some of them. Yeah, so they did meet because I didn't think they were going to show up at all. And the next session is Tuesday. All right, so what else? Yeah, so they say Maliki. It's Maliki's group. They are disrupting all the parliament sessions. And Sudani bloc is boasting about obstructing amendments to the electoral law, but we don't care about that. But I just thought that was interesting that they're saying that it's Maliki's coalition. Okay, let's see. These people here, they claim they're asking to have the budget schedule files opened because the government's delay violates constitutional timelines and puts financial entitlements at risk. But this news is central and southern Iraq. So now there's 2 papers with that name or websites or whatever. And this just happened to be the one that I can't access. So the Sudani was out and about doing a project, opening a project, and he gave a speech, and here's some of the things he said. They opened residential cities, but the difference about these cities, these are for middle income class. I thought that was interesting. And I don't think it says that in here, but I bet you tomorrow there'll be more about that anyway. So integrated services will be provided in the new cities, and all service, commercial, and economic activities will be available. We sought an economic model that was easy and accessible and suited to citizens in terms of design, type of housing unit, price, and installments. Residential city projects in the past faced many challenges, so the lower income ones, right, They made them first. So I guess they figured out what mistakes and kinks they got to get out, and now they're moving to the next level. Let's see. We directed the relevant ministries and governments to prepare a unified plan for services for the new cities, including electricity, communications, roads, and national networks. Meanwhile, you have people in Kurdistan boycotting because of lack of services. So, go figure. But this is new money, right? These projects coming in are new money. Implementing company must expedite implementation and make greater use of modern technology to keep pace with developments. So, smart homes, are they going to be smart? Probably, because look at that. We are implementing smart city standards for a future vision in a city with modern specifications. And look at this. This person, they're counting down 120 days before the end of the Prime Minister's term. Isn't that something? And so this, I'm really hoping, so this is an article, 120 days before the end of Sudani's term. And here's some things he didn't do. And he even says, I don't know who suggested Sudani announce his political bloc now, given the ongoing paralysis, delays, and delays in the House of Representatives' ability to perform. It's blah, 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 right? So he's like, you ain't done nothing. You ain't passed no laws. You didn't give us our rate. We don't have no new money. It doesn't say that in the article, right? But he's pointing out. But, that's not fair. Sudani has done a lot. A lot has been done under his time. But yeah, so if you'd like to read that, the only thing is I don't have, that's in Telegram, I don't have a link that can go, oh my gosh, look, it's 32 minutes. Wow. Okay. This is the last article anyway. So, oh no, it's not. Oh, well, this is, another thing. This is from Basra. Okay, let me show you. And then I think this is the last one. How come you didn't tell me I was going over time? I'm just kidding. You can't tell me that. All right, so this is the image that was in Telegram. And you can, copy and paste that, right? But I don't know why the image won't come over to the blog. So I just wanted you to see that. I didn't, that's what should be there, and maybe I'll put it there. So, oh, that's all jacked up. That's a copy paste error, I believe. Anyway, so ATMs in Basra. The ATMs are empty on several days, especially Fridays, Saturdays, and official holidays. Exchange offices charge large commission if you do not withdraw from an ATM. Lack of mobile applications for most banks. Inability to transfer funds from one card to another if the bank is different. Lack of outlets for card-based shopping. And large fees if you don't withdraw. Let me see. Lack of mobile. So it just repeats the same thing. So they're trying to do what they want them to do. So these are complaints from Basra citizens. They want them to go full on electronic, but here's the complaints they have. So, and this is just Basra, one province. However, it's a more modern one, and I think a more densely populated one as well. But yeah, so I apologize. I wasn't paying attention to the time. And see, I like to hear from the people more than the boring articles, right? But anyway, so we'll see what happens tomorrow. We haven't heard from Aaliyah Locke in like 3 days. So I'm hoping to hear from him. We'll see what if anything happens when Forex opens. Yeah, so that'll be tomorrow. And then Monday is the court cases, which I know there's someone out there saying they're thrown out. But you know me, I go by articles. So until I see an article saying the court cases have been thrown out, in my opinion, they're moving forward. All right. Thank you. I hope you had a wonderful Saturday. I did. And thank you for sharing your Saturday with me, 35 minutes of your day. Again, I appreciate you hitting the thumbs up. Subscribe if you like at 11 minutes and 11 seconds. A little icon pops up in the right corner. You just tap it, hit the bell. Yeah, like I said, I'll be here. Um, I'll be here reporting on this stuff until it happens. All right. So thank you. Enjoy the rest of your morning, night. Oh, no, no, no. Accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals and pay all your bills. Can't not say that, right? Okay. Now, thank you. And enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, whatever time frame you are indulging in this content. And until next time, thank you.